Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live with a beautiful UFC Tampa. Man, I'm actually sitting here getting emotional, Mike.
Emotional?
Yes, bro. Did you realize with this? This is the last UFC card of 2024. This is the last true, Moneyline UFC breakdown of the year, bro. We got some time off. I mean, we'll still be doing the show, but no UFC after this Saturday.
That's just on the bigger and better thing. I mean, 2025 is going to be a fun. I really feel like 2025 is going to be a phenomenal year. And also here, AJ and I are going to keep on rolling. I'm going to add the bare knuckle bets. Not bare knuckle bets specifically. That's actually trademarked, isn't it? I can't be running bare knuckle bets. That was AJ and I.
No, is it trademarked? I don't know.
If you guys don't know, that was AJ and I's show over on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. You go check out bare knuckle bets episodes. So I just feel like 2025 is gonna be great. So this is good, man. Let's cap this year. Doesn't 2025 sound cool? I feel like I need to have a baby in 2025. Yeah, I was born in 2025. It just sounds like the right year.
I mean, buddy, you better get to work soon, my brother.
I got 4 months? 4 months.
Yeah, I think it's time to go. Start it up. Finch, man.
Right, challenge
we're gonna call him Father Finch. You'll see Mike Finch, bro. He'll be coming on here with fucking baggy eyes. His hair's a mess. Like, listen, bro, this is hard. I don't know, man. I'm excited for you to have a kid, but I'll be honest, I'm nervous for you, bro. It's gonna be a big load, man.
His hairline's gonna start going away. What are you talking about, bro?
No, the eye bags, bro. You're gonna be tired, man. I don't know.
You know what's funny is the men in my family, it's a thing with the Finches. They get they get this
eye
going on.
bags.
So far, so good. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you don't have them now.
I'm all right.
Listen, a son or a daughter might bring them, but it's all right. I look forward to watching the Finch man grow old. We'll grow old on the show, my brother.
I sleep hard, bro. I mean, that baby's gonna have to come and smack me to wake me up. I sleep hard, bro. That's why I got a Glock 34 next to my bed because I gotta fucking be ready. Because my wife sleeps like like nothing. Anything will wake her up, But me, that baby could cry all at once. I'm knocked.
That's funny as hell. All right. Listen, Finch. Well, I look forward to 2025. And this is going to be a fun show. We got a dono in chat. You want to bring it up, bro? We got the
Ali Point V with the television. What's the dono looking all different? What is this?
I don't know what's going on, man. I switched my computer. For some reason, they change up how my shit looks.
I like it, actually.
You like this better? I didn't like this as much, man.
We need a vote in the chat. Wasn't it a different way? Do it again. That one. That one's dope.
I like my minimalist.
Damn. Let us know, chat.
Classy. Keep it classy, man. We keep it classy over here.
Long time. Let's go. Last card flex. Drop a dono, people. Folks, if you don't know, now you know. And I ain't even Dana White. 4-1 on the premium channel. We ate. I even touched that decision that to points for the co-main event, Ian Gary and Shavkat. I don't know. I always thought, like, as I texted all my buddies as soon as it started, I'm like, Ian Gary, first step backwards, perfect. I just felt like that one was going long all week. So plus money on the over, it was over 2.5, but then plus money on the decision. And then, 4 out of 5 bets hit. So happy fucking days. All right, Ali, let's eat.
Listen, that's pretty money, bro. You're doing good, man. I was very happy that the Lock City parlay kept alive this past weekend, man. And some close decisions on the card that could have went either way. I think we got to talk a little bit about UFC 310 before we go over to UFC Tampa. So looking at the main event of UFC 310, we already got it on the screen right here. Pantoja and Asakura They threw down, and you know what? It was a true showcase of the grappling level of Pantoja. And in a sense, it was a statement out to, all of the fighters outside of the UFC that, like, yeah, the UFC's got the true champs. I think in a sense, that's what it was, especially with Ryzen having some, quality talent below 155 pounds. Asakura comes over to the UFC, big ask for him to get a title shot right away. And you know what? In early moments in round number 1, I mean, he was rocked bad, but he had some striking moments for sure. But when they got to the ground, there was just a gap in the levels, man. And Alexandre Pantoja, he's a maestro with control, locks up a submission. What's interesting is now there's the Pantoja GOAT claims. Like, it's insane how fighters get a few, probably really 3 title defenses, and it's like, yo, that's the GOAT of the weight class now. I don't know. I mean, he looked really good, but then I think 2 fights ago, I mean, he had a bit of a difficult fight with Steve Erceg. To be fair, he looks better now than the Steve Erceg fight. He beats Kai Asakura, a guy who's got good striking, but ultimately wasn't proven in the UFC. I do think he's talented regardless. I'm really interested in seeing what they do for Pantoja next, but altogether, judging the performance, I say it's a high quality. Would you agree?
Kai Asakura is such an entertaining fighter, AJ. I mean, it's so fun to watch him out there going. I love the knees to the body. I love how he's loose, relaxed. He was going off right away, man. He started the fight fast. He's just a fun style to watch. So it was cool to watch him go with Pantoja, and it kind of showed me like Pantoja's striking's kind of slappy compared to the straight shots of Asakura. I liked Asakura's style. It's just, the reason why I picked Pantoja is because of that grappling, man. His wrestling, his ability to get the back. I am not surprised by the performance. I really feel like that's what he had to go out there and do. So no, I was entertained by the main event. I'm a big fan, and no, he's not the GOAT, but people just need something to talk about. Philip, thank you for being a premium member. I appreciate that. Make some fucking money. Let's go. I just feel like Kai Asakura's got a bright future in the UFC, because who doesn't want to watch fights like that? The dude is entertaining. Even when Pantoja was crawling up his back and he was on the fence with the shoulder on the fence, he's smiling, he's looking up at the lights and the camera. He's like, holy shit, I'm in the UFC right now in my first cage fight. And he's in a good one with the champ. So the future's bright for Kai Asakura, man. I mean, he's an exciting kid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching more. It'd be fun to see him maybe on a Japan fight night or something like that. I think the UFC is going to cook with some matchups.
Somebody who said it, somebody asked me how they would, because I think it was Islam Makhachev was cage side, right, for the fights. And somebody asked me, they're like, how would these little guys do moving up to fight Islam Makhachev? And I said, you know what? Kai Asakura is a lot more dangerous for Islam than somebody like Pantoja. Like, if
No way, you're
Pantoja
crazy.
moves up, Pantoja can't do anything to Islam. As to where Kai Asakura,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Kai Asakura's knees, bro, when you shoot on him, you better move your fucking head. The knees to the body, he's going to knock somebody out with a knee to the body. His kicks are hard. I mean, the dude's dangerous. Just fun to watch.
I love Asakura, but Makhachev ground and pounds him in like 20 seconds.
Yeah. That's
I know what you mean,
don't get me
though.
wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Shout out to Paku with the 20.
Thank you.
My best night ever. Perfect 14 for 14. I hope you parlayed that up. I always do a degenerate parlay every time I throw them down. Should I start giving those out too? I always throw out a degenerate parlay just in case. Number 1 on Tapology with 9 perfect picks, 14 leg full card parlay, $10 into $2,434. Well, now I see why you're throwing us 20. Good, man. Shows hard work and study pays off, and shows that I'm one of the sharpest minds in the space. He's a humble guy. Paku's a very humble guy. That was as humble as Donald Trump. But congratulations, bro.
Good shit, Paku, man. I know he was hype as hell in live chat this past Saturday, and like he's consistent, bro. Paku's making picks for a long time, and me and Paku have chatted it up face to face. I'm hoping during one of the off-week Moneyline shows that he comes in for a little, live chat with us, because I think we should definitely do the subscriber call-ins during some of the off-week shows.
That was so fun to talk to you guys. That was fucking awesome.
We'll definitely do it.
Pick him with the 5. Let's fucking go. Last UFC card. Let's end it with a bang. That's what we're doing right now. Pick 'em, and we always know Pick 'em's going to be in the building for it. Thank you for the 5 Pick 'em.
Let's go. Shout out Pick'em, man. Overall, Pantoja, this to me was a pretty quality performance. And I can't really flack him at all. I just will say, what the hell are we doing next? Kaikara France? I
Why
mean,
not? He looked
kinda
good.
the only option, right?
He
I
looked
want
good.
to see new blood. I want to see somebody with a knockout chance. I understand Kaikara France. You could say, he's 1-1 in his last 2, but the Albazi fight, he should have won the decision. At least it's a new matchup. It's like, it's not about who's the most deserving top contender right now. I think, unfortunately, Royval is number 1 contender with Moreno at number 2. Those guys both have multiple losses to Pantoja, and it's a hard sell on doing a Moreno quadrilogy, being 0-3 against Pantoja, and it's a damn hard sell to get Royval back out there being 0-2 against him. So I feel like they're going in the new blood favor, even though Kaikara France might have some losses, right? He's been in there with some of the best, and he's another one of those guys that at the very least is in for a fun matchup against Pantoja, but should have a pretty considerable disadvantage in grappling.
I think they needed Tatsuro Taira to have a big performance against Brandon Royval. They did not get it. Manel Kape's got to fight this Saturday. That could mean something. Yeah, we got number 12 Bruno Silva versus number 9 Manel Kape. You get a knockout in that fight, anything can happen. I mean, remember that they gave Khalil Roundtree the shot. The flyweight division's looking something like that.
What's unfortunate, though, is I think timing-wise, some of these up-and-comers like Josh Van, Ramazan Temirov, Almabayev, they just aren't quite ready for a title shot yet. But I do think that Asu Almabayev, if he ends up getting a big fight and he gets another big win, I could see him in the mix to fight a Pantoja. Even Tatsuro Taira, if he wins one more fight, I even said it after the Royval fight. I think Taira is a harder fight for Pantoja than Royval is. With his grappling skills, it's a cool matchup. It's just stars haven't aligned just yet. So we'll see with Pantoja, man. But I think Kaikara France is an obvious next step, especially with the chances of moving up to 135 being relatively low with Marab and Umar. O'Malley probably going to be given a title shot upon his return too.
Facts. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the division, but I definitely think they should just keep it active, man. They need these titles moving and let them rack up title defenses. If it's Kaikara France, it's Kaikara France.
Stukai, let's do it. Marshall UMMA. I see the dono. Are you a Pantoja believer now? Listen, I will say I have to stop overlooking him. He is that good at grappling. He's gotten better at striking. His kicks look really nice. His boxing looked pretty quick. He's shown improvements, man, and I definitely see how capable Pantoja is. And I've revealed to you guys some inside info in my UFC recap. I don't know if all you guys watched it, but I, many years ago, got burned with Pantoja against Askar, and I think that's why I started falling off the Pantoja hype train a bit, because I think that maybe I was frustrated there. But now seeing how he's turned it around, he's gotten a lot better. And I'll set my personal feelings aside. Thank you, Marshall.
Let's go. Hang on. Get my Ralphie Finch Premium Lock of the Week been missing with a frowny face. Ralphie, I make you all this money, and you come here with the 4-1. He comes here with the one. What just Temba Garimbo got fucking smacked and choked and doesn't know how to get out of a fucking anaconda choke. Hey, here's a secret for you guys. Flatten out like you're a flying squirrel. You could grab your leg and extend your leg to get your shoulder off of your neck so there's space. Can you guys see that? Get your shoulder off of your neck so there's space so your artery can move. If Temba needs some work on it, we could definitely work. I give this guy Dominic Reyes, dub. Brian Battle. Now that one was close, but dub, that was parlay hit. Duho Choi, I gave you out dog money in the premium channel. Duho Choi hits. I give you out distance for Shavkat and Ian Gary over 2.5. And then I give you over 2.5 Joshua Van, Cody Durden, all of which hits. And you come back here to tell me about Temba Garimbo. All right, fine. But did you make money or not?
Well, to be fair, you know what? The Temba Garimbo call, it was a strange fight. He got exposed a bit. Like, he got touched up fast, and then he shot a panic takedown as he was rocked, right? And I said it on the weigh-in show Friday. I said, bro, only way Luque's winning is a Darce choke. He ends up catching him in an anaconda. I thought that was mad funny, man. I thought Luque's best chance to win would be if a sloppy shot was lugged out there by Rimbo, and he ends up
He made it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a nice anaconda. He doesn't even do the leg on top of the arm. You know, it kind of helps like push the arm down when you got it locked up. He just squeezes it. He knows he's got it. He's got a nice choke there. So anybody who goes with these anaconda guys, you need to train those defenses. You know who you're not going to do that to? Somebody like Arman Sarukian. You've seen him roll with Hamzat. When Hamzat tries to do those, any head and arm choke combinations, Darces, anacondas, ain't happening with Arman Sarukian. You just got to get good at the defense for it. I mean, plain and simple. You know, UFC grappling is not insanely high level. It's good and it's unique because it's MMA. There's punches. But Chase Hooper, after he won his fight, said that after Clay. He's like, hey, I've been rolling with Mikey Musumeci. He's been kicking my ass. He showed me that armbar. That was my butchered version of it. You know, he's being honest. He's getting his ass whooped by Mikey Musumeci, but he's still that much better than the UFC caliber guys on the ground.
How do you think Mikey would do in MMA?
He's in one if he really wanted to.
Oh, he got signed. No. He signed to
UFC.
Signed him now.
That's right.
He's out of there.
He was in one.
He was.
A shout out to really quick. Shout out to Kolabate for beating Shinya Aoki over the weekend. Kolabate flew out there, crossed the freaking world, went in there with a legend, and submitted him quickly and easily. The commentators were like, oh, he's in a leg lock shootout with Shinya Aoki. This is Shinya's world. Psych, it's Kolabate's world. Shout out to Ice Cole. I think he just turned 19 or 20 years old, and he's out there subbing the legend. So watch out for Kolabate. He was only minus 800. I say only because that was lock of the century. What were we just talking about? We were just talking about Mikey Musumeci MMA. Maybe you punch him in the face and he curls up. I don't know. It's a tough world out there. You'd have to really, you got to really test it.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting to see like the grapplers come over. It's like boxers coming over in a sense. It's the same type of thing, just a different martial art.
But there's a specific thing we saw with Crone Gracie. I'm jumping around fights if you feel like moving.
Fine. Yeah, I can move.
Specific thing we saw with Crone Gracie. You can't just have this passive jiu-jitsu game in 2024, 2025 MMA where you're just like, come to me. I'm just going to lay on the Nick Diaz one. Remember Nick Diaz, right? Laid on the ground. Like, come on, dog. Come on over here. Like, no, you have to impose your grappling. If you want to be good nowadays, you have to impose your grappling on somebody else. Go wrestle. You know what a better gym for Crone Gracie would be? AKA, go train with the Dagestanis because he needs to move forward. He needs to shoot takedowns. He needs to put his grappling on people, not try to pull them into it. It's not going to work against high-level guys or even Bryce Mitchell.
Dude, I think the truth about Crone Gracie, though, is he's probably having a lot of fun hanging out with the Diaz brothers, smoking, rolling, doing some boxing there. It's not the same intensity level in the room as you would get at AKA or as you would even get at Team Alpha Male or Killcliff. And that's just the truth, right? I feel like it'll sound weird saying this, but like Nick Diaz in his prime is different than today. Nate Diaz, even in his prime, different than today. I feel as though there's a sense of lackadaisical training potentially, and maybe even laziness. I don't think they have the same level of intensity, at least in certain aspects, right? Like the strength and conditioning, I think, is a big one that you'd have at some of these other high-level gyms. And Crone Gracie is a guy that had exceptional jiu-jitsu, but didn't really have a way to get fights into his world as he stepped into the UFC, where guys just have better takedown defense. When he was in Ryzen, he did really well. And even he beat, Bruce Leroy early on. And then it seemed like he really got into his flow, and then he went to war with Cub Swanson, but then taking years off. I just don't think he was serious about MMA. And I feel as though he never lived up to his potential. I think Crone Gracie could have been decent at fighting. Like if Crone Gracie had the mentality of like, bro, I want to be an MMA fighter, and he dedicated himself to the fight game, I think with his tool set, back years ago against Cub Swanson and then progressing from there, even if he doesn't make it to the, top 10 or anything like that, I do think he could have been relatively successful in the UFC. I do think he could have submitted guys like Clay Guida, right? I think he could have gotten wins against some, mid-caliber UFC guy and actually done okay and made a career of it. But I don't know, man. I wondered this too. Kron Gracie, is he hungry, right? Is he hungry to be the best? Does he have money? Maybe the Gracie family, bro, are they going hungry? Are they going to starve?
No.
So what is the reason to dedicate your whole life to the most intense game of all games, MMA? Instead, thrive off some talent, train with the Diaz brothers, have a good time, and, do some jujitsu, throw a little hands. But there's stopped being an evolution. As he lost to Cub Swanson, it was like, instead of adapt, rebuild, come back better, it was years off, and it was turning into a part-time fighter, and he relied on talent, and he looked worse. He looked worse last time against Jourdain. To be fair, he looked worse here, besides with the armbar attempt that was close. But of course, Kron Gracie has a nasty armbar. The jiu-jitsu skills are on point. It's just he never evolved anything else, man. His striking looked pretty rudimentary.
Why is he sitting in closed guard when he's got a fresh Bryce Mitchell in the beginning of the first round? He's just sitting there in closed guard, very defensive. It's like I don't get the passive style. I think Stockton, I think training with the Diaz brothers is the wrong place for him, AJ.
Right.
I think it's the wrong place. Make him move forward. I want that guy like a bull. All right. I want him just charging people, moving his head, boom, boom, making you miss, and then entering into those takedowns. He should shoot 5 takedowns around. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of, it sounds stupid, but honestly, a little bit of Clay Guida. Can we get a little bit of Clay Guida? And then you mix it in with the high level jiu-jitsu. Because Clay's a wild man. He'll constantly initiate the grappling situations. Kron just thinks he's a black hole out there. He's just like, I'm just going to pull you all into me. Not going to work even against Bryce Mitchell. So, Bryce Mitchell, nice job finishing Gracie inside of his guard, by the way, slamming him on his head, elbowing him in the face. It's kind of embarrassing for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
That's sad.
He finished him inside of his guard, dog.
Yeah. No, I thought that was like a statement. It was like the shift of the game, right? We saw Royce Gracie get beaten up bad by Matt Hughes. We saw Renzo Gracie take a beating against Matt Hughes. And then we saw Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell slam and then violently KO Gracie with elbows. And it's just a change of how the styles of fighting work. You can't be a UFC contender with just, pure one area. Like, you can be deficient in certain areas, but you need to have at least mild competency elsewhere. If Kron Gracie had offensive wrestling, can you imagine he had some takedowns in the arsenal, bro? He would have had a whole different opportunity here. If he put Bryce Mitchell on his back, there's a different world. But I'll be honest, man. I just think he trains comfortability, and to be the best, you got to train uncomfortable.
I think saying and you didn't just say this, but saying somebody can't just be a specialist in the UFC is wrong. Like, for instance, if Nicky Rodriguez, famous grappler, came into MMA, he has a great skill set for MMA. Like, I feel like that type of, he's an explosive wrestler with nasty submissions. That would be a good crossover. And he might not need much striking to be pretty damn successful right away versus other styles. Like, you asked me about Mikey Musumeci. Like, I don't think Mikey Musumeci's doing shit in the UFC, nothing more than Ryan Hall, So it is a little more specific than you can't be a specialist. I would still consider Poatan a pretty damn specialist,
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, is
I'm not saying he's elite though, but I'll say this:
competent.
He is better at grappling than Gracie is at striking.
Sure.
So
I agree with that.
I don't know. I guess unfortunate, man, because I watched Kron Gracie back in Ryzen years ago. I remember the hype on him when he was coming in. And this was the Gracie that was supposed to do good. It was like, no, he's got some skills. Hodger Gracie got chinned, right, over in Strike Force. And he was okay, but not super high level. But it was like, no, Kron is special. He can actually become a high level fighter. And he seemed like he was going to be. When he destroyed Bruce Leroy, quick sub, it was like, damn, he looks legit. And honestly, I thought back then, that he had a good chance to even submit Cub Swanson. He loses that fight, and then it just fell apart and shit. the game is unforgiving, bro. It's a long time ago.
That's for sure. That's for sure. We got a lot of good fights in this card. You want to cover any others?
We got to go co-main.
Okay.
Listen, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Ian Gary. What Ian Gary did was not win the fight, but he definitely, he should have won some of you guys over. I think that Ian Gary deserves some respect, dude. He goes out there, puts it on the line. He was confident all week. He had good moments in the fight. I know he got outworked in the clinch, but his takedown defense for 3 out of the freaking 4 rounds were on point. And then round 5, he wins. Round 3, he won. He nearly had Shavkat in a rear naked choke. I think Ian Gary is going to be pretty good in the next couple of years, man. Defending Shavkat against the cage is impressive, and his striking is slick. I like Ian Gary, man.
Ian Gary, 1 round away from beating Shavkat Rakhmonov. You have to give him credit there. Took him distance, which, like I said, I did anticipate, but you got to give him credit there. So I already was coming into it sort of, giving Ian Gary his flowers, I think, when a lot of people weren't, for various reasons. Ian Gary's a controversial man. But I have to criticize him. I mean, that rear naked choke was terrible. The rear naked choke was terrible. He was grabbing his own glove, trying to choke him. It's like, Ian, rotate your shoulder the other way, Ian. Ian, what the fuck? I'm yelling at the TV. It's hard to watch sometimes. It's just like, if he just trained with, there's so many good people with good rear naked chokes. You remember Hamzat's rear naked choke journey? Hamzat had the 1999 rear naked choke against Leach, and then he figured it out. Now he's got a fucking nice squeeze, a nice bite on that rear naked choke. Good rotation. It has the arm behind the head instead of on top. A lot of good stuff. Ian Gary really fucked this up. I mean, can you imagine? He would have won that fight and gotten a title shot. I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about a completely different career trajectory just because he didn't train the rear naked choke. It's like, dude, he's training with Charles Oliveira. You know who has a good rear naked choke? Charles Oliveira. You know who wouldn't have blown that position? You get his arm completely underneath the fucking chin of somebody. Charles Oliveira finishes that fucking choke, AJ. So it was upsetting to see, and he's very passive. He doesn't have much power. He's a little too comfortable. Like he'll explode up and he'll get his hands on the hands, and then it's like, doesn't break the grip. And you know what? Right there, I'll give credit where credit's due. I'm sure Shavkat's grip is like an orangutan. I mean, I'm sure. Okay? I'm sure Shavkat has a great grip. But Ian Gary's not there yet. And my last criticism of him is the worst one, which is at the post-fight press conference. He goes, I'm proud of my performance. I'm doing that's a bad Irish accent.
Was that Conor McGregor?
You liked it? I tried to not do Conor.
Like Conor, bro.
That was too bad. Erase that from memory. He was like, no, I'm proud of myself. I thought I did a good job. This and that. Like, bro, you just you must not think you should be championship level then, because that was not a championship level performance. That was not the best Shavkat's ever looked, and you fucking blew it. So, I mean, I'm sure some of you walk away with more positive things to say than that, but I thought Ian Gary blew it and had the wrong attitude about it afterwards, and that's a damn shame.
Damn, I disagree, man. How does Khabib do with Rakhmonov when he's only 27, though? Ian Gary's a young man, bro. He's a kid. He went out there and gave a gutsy performance. I actually thought it was a good performance, and it's one to be proud of, because at 27, to go out and give Shavkat Rakhmonov even resistance and not get finished, which, we've seen Shavkat running everybody over. He's taken down and submitting, decent, fighters. He's got power in his hands. And Ian Gary was pushed to a very difficult area. And he showed us that he has the will to try and still win the fight. Like, he still was in it till the very end. I honestly was impressed, man, with his youth, right? Shavkat is 3 years older, and they were in similar career positions, but Shavkat has 3 years of muscle maturity, right? 3 years of training and just 3 more years of life. And I think that's what showed. But trust me, bro, Ian Gary 2 years from now He's going to be a demon for a lot of these guys at 170 pounds. If he can stop takedowns, man, there's no reason that he can't beat somebody even like as good as Sean Brady. There's no reason right now he can't compete with Leon Edwards. There's no reason that Ian Gary isn't going to get a title fight in the future. I think Ian Gary's really talented, bro. I actually was blown away with on short notice giving Shavkat trouble and making him look human. Like when Shavkat looked human before? It was like he was just the freak of freaks.
I told you I bet decision.
That's
I
good.
thought that fight was going all rounds. That's the pick I gave out. That's the pick I bet was fight goes distance, and then I sprinkled another one on a larger one. I'll be honest, on over 2.5 because it's safer. You know, I thought it would look something like that. I really wasn't.
Bilal or Shavkat?
I really Bilal.
You think Bilal?
I told. By the way, and the commentators were onto it during the fight. I told you guys that last week. Play the tape. I told y'all last week I was going to take Bilal over Shavkat. Now I think that looks a little. It looks even sweeter to y'all, doesn't it?
But if Shavkat does somehow run over Bilal, the stock of Gary's going to jump a ton too in the mix of it all. I don't know if you. So that's going to be an interesting fight, man, because you got to assume Bilal's going to have the wrestling edge. For sure.
Anyway, great card. Yeah, we all. I hope you made some money. I made some money too. Solid fucking picks this card, AJ.
Solid picks, bro. It was good. And the only last, I just want to do quick notes. Shout out Duho Choi with a badass performance, and I think that he's
money.
He looked incredible. And then Dom Reyes gets a nice W over Anthony Smith. That was pretty rough, man. I felt bad for Smith. He was crying in the cage beforehand. Obviously, his friend had passed.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't. I could see some holes in Dom Reyes's game too. There was a lot of wild hooks that Smith would throw that just were not getting countered. Those guys didn't look elite to me. But hopefully Smith hangs it up here.
Yeah, he probably should. And then this one here, Michael Chiesa outdogs Max Griffin, my guy. Chiesa still got some dog in him, man.
I guess so. Maybe he heard us talking all that shit.
Yeah. Listen, I picked him, man. I wasn't on the shit talk side.
Fucking stayed off of this fight. I want nothing to do with betting on this fight.
You think Josh is pretty good?
Fuck yeah, gangsters.
Yeah, I like Van. Overall, good card. Weidman takes a rough L, battle in a close one. Bro, the Lock City parlay held on by a thread with 2 split decisions taking it home for me. And then the three-peat adding in fucking Movzar, who was in a good back and forth with Aljo, also came through, man.
Bro, I swear I was training my student Jackie at the time. Every time I look at the fucking screen, Aljo is getting on top, doing something. Everybody was telling me how crazy it was that to think that Aljo stood a chance. But again, didn't bet on this fight. And glad I didn't.
Let's go. Listen, we're gonna get to UFC Tampa. We're going to break down the card. It's our final UFC event of 2024. It's coming to my neck of the woods. The UFC will be down the road from me, but
the pay-per-view is coming to your
down the road from
neck of the woods.
Vince, you got to go in person, man. You got to go.
I think so. I think it's time to get drunk at a UFC event again. It's been a while.
Do it.
You know?
They'll recognize you. Someone's going to come up to you. Finch, man.
What's up?
You recognized at the UFC event for sure.
Oh, come to UFC in LA, come hang out, and come say what's up to your boy, please. Kevin in the mother effing house. Ian Gary being happy with his performance is sad. Connor was champ at 27. If he was competitive, he wouldn't be patting himself on the back. And he would be upset that he missed the rear naked strangle 100%. Thank you, Kevin, for having my back. Tell AJ that John Jones was champ at 22, 23.
Exceptions.
Come on, bro. His muscular maturity is not there yet.
Cheryl was champ at what, 40?
Rear naked choke. Could we learn how to strangle somebody, please? Ian, damn it. Thank you for the time, Kevin. Appreciate you.
I still think Ian Gary's going to come along just fine. He's allowed to be happy with a gutsy effort because he trained with Shavkat. He knew how good Shavkat was. And trust me, his confidence has only grown, and he'll be back better in 2025. He beats Leon Edwards.
Sure. Maybe. That's a good one. That's the next fight, right?
I like that fight a lot. We'll see what the next fight is, man. I left a comment under my latest vid. I said, if we get 50 likes on the comment, I'll do this week's fight to make next video. And bro, it had like 160 likes. So it looks like I'm getting to work tomorrow on matchmaking mode. So
that's the fight. That makes sense.
Let's go. Listen, we're going to get into it. We got first fight on UFC Tampa, Pierre Rodriguez versus Josephine Knutsson. I think you have to go with Josephine Knutsson to win. Pierre Rodriguez is tough, but I question her fight IQ. Last time she seemed to have the fight in the bag after dropping Carnelossi with a front kick and then decides to headbutt her on the ground, which to me shows she can't keep her cool and in bad positions can become overwhelmed and, even in good positions, overwhelmed and make major mistakes. And then I know the argument would be, oh, but she was winning. Well, Carnelossi's like low caliber as far as technical abilities. She's more of like just a bodybuilder chick that has power. And then you look at the fight before, she was absolutely bodied by Jillian Robertson. Now she's fighting a technician in Knutsson who trains at All-Stars team. She's extremely well-rounded. She comes from a striking base, but is developing just an overall quality MMA game. And she doesn't like to give up position. Even when she was on her back with Pilastri, she fought out of the bad spots. And I think that Knutsson's going to dig deep and beat Pierre Rodriguez on the judges' scorecard. So I'm going to go with Josephine Knutsson.
Absolutely not a fight I'm running to the bank to fund a bet on. However, Knutsson should be a better kickboxer, but she gets taken down, AJ. She has some issues with the takedown defense, and Rodriguez does hit the occasional takedown. So fuck it. I think Rodriguez can find a way, and I think it's dog money.
Yeah, Rodriguez a big dog at plus 190, Knutsson minus 225. I understand the logic in picking Rodriguez as a dog because Knutsson was taken down last time. It was against Julia Pilastri, where she was taken down a bit and even locked in an arm triangle, but fought out of it. I just think that she has high caliber potential. I don't know. I think that training at All-Stars is a factor. I also think Pierre Rodriguez, I mean, you got to respect her for a win over Sam Hughes, but the Carnelossi fight was low fight IQ moments. I think Knutsson can pull through, man. I wouldn't rely on Rodriguez. Knutsson is a wide favorite, though. Does she deserve to be this big of a favorite? Maybe not, but I do see her finding a way. I think decision, probably 29-28, 30-27. She might get taken down, but I don't think Rodriguez is beating her up or finishing her on the ground. If anything, it's a takedown, and then Knutsson scrambles back up.
But I bet you AJ wouldn't bet on it.
With Knutsson, right now, no. Maybe my mind changes later. Reason I am hesitant to want to throw the hammer will be Pierre Rodriguez's offensive wrestling. But if I was on the opposite side, the hesitancy for the Pierre Rodriguez pick would be questionable fight IQ.
Sure.
And she's dealing with a girl that's pretty crafty. So
sure. Yeah. If they're on the feet the whole time, you can imagine Josephine taking this. So yeah, it's the first prelim girl fight. That's the vibe.
Yeah. Over 2.5 she'll probably hit, which is minus 500. Boom, boom. There we go.
Minus 500. Lots of value there, folks.
Right.
Go ahead. I would agree. I do believe this is going long.
I think so. Let's keep running up. Let's jump up to this next one, which actually has some hype around it. We got Davey Grant versus Ramon Taveras. I expect this fight to be crazy.
So
I picked Davey Grant here, man. He's good at shocking people, right? He knocked out Jonathan Martinez, who's really crafty on the feet. He was in a tit-for-tat fight against Daniel Marcos. He was in a competitive fight against Adrian Yanez. He's got an inverted triangle comeback win over Rafael Assunção. Now, I understand what some would say is, oh, bro, but he's 38, nearly 39. Fully understand the worry on the Davey Grant side, why you would fade against him. But what has Ramon Taveras shown at a high level? He got a competitive decision that many argue should have went against him against Surrey City. He beat Cortavius Romeois on Contender Series. He knocked him out. No one's arguing that Taveras got boxing and power, but Davey Grant's got a damn chin on him. He can mix it up fairly well. He's got good kicking ability, underrated kicking skills, and I think he can give Taveras a tough fight. And I wonder if Taveras looks tired in round 3 again. I feel like as the fight goes longer, a power hitter like him is going to slow down, and Davey Grant's going to come on strong. And Taveras, both of his losses are knockout losses. Grant could potentially touch him with the right punch and get a late finish. I think that the old man Davey Grant can pull through. Obviously, Taveras in his home state and, some hype on him as an up-and-comer. I get it, but bro, Davey Grant is a longtime UFC vet. He's an Ultimate Fighter finalist. I just don't think Taveras has shown us enough yet to, go out there and back him with confidence. I think Davey Grant can shock him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect Davey Grant's boxing ability, first of all. And remember, he's got grappling. I mean, Davey Grant's definitely dangerous.
He's dangerous, yeah. Did Finch freeze?
Did I?
Yeah, I think he froze on us. There we go. He's back.
I'm back.
You're back, bro. I don't know if you froze or you just taking a second to pause.
On my side, I didn't freeze. So how's that fucking Starlink going for you over there now that you fixed your internet, AJ? You
Dude, it's so good, bro. Holy shit.
Okay.
My internet is so good, Finch. My internet is 100 times faster now. You need to – does Frontier go to your area, please? Can we get you switched? I will help you with whatever internet provider that you want that's better, bro. I'll help you out if you want.
We'll call Elon. I told you.
I'll call Elon. Say, listen, enough of this shit.
Call Elon up. Told you guys that's the #1 interview I'm trying to get on the channel. We'll get Elon's interview. All right.
Cool.
All right. So, look, Davey Grant, he's good. He's competent. He's definitely got nice hands. Davey Grant could fucking box, and he's got the grappling background too. So you can't sleep on Davey Grant. That being said, he's a fucking 38-year-old bantamweight, dog. That's not good. That's not what we want. Ramon Taveras, he's 30 years old. He's just coming up. He's a baby in the UFC right now. He just got that win back against Surrey City. He did get that knockout. So the guy with more power, the guy on the come up, the guy in his prime, I think beats the guy who's fading away from us. With that being said, there's a lot of skills and a lot of danger on the Davey Grant side too. I don't underestimate him at all. So it'll be interesting to see if I choose to bet on this or not. I'll have to figure that out as the week goes on. Early lean, I'm going for the 30-year-old.
I respect that. Question for you. How do you feel about Ramon Taveras if you were to fight against Daniel Marcos on this card? How do you think that fight goes?
Daniel Marcos could outpoint him. He's pretty good at that. There's a big power difference.
Close with Marcos, though. That's what I think, though. I'm like, the level, man. Grant's in competitive fights against good guys, man.
He is.
Is Taveras that good of a prospect? Maybe, though. I don't know. I have my reservations about calling it officially.
That fight was July 2023.
A little bit ago.
We're in December of 2024, AJ. I'm looking at that 38 number, and I'm concerned about what type of performance we're going to get. He's been out for over a year.
Did you hear that Taveras had like a home invasion and a shooting at his house take place recently? Yeah. No. He's in Duval, which is in Jacksonville. I don't know. It's got a bad reputation in Florida as being a rough place to live. I guess he's moving out or something like that.
I know, but add him to the list, right? John Jones with the break-in, Anthony Smith with the break-in. Folks, stop breaking into UFC fighters' houses. It ain't going to work.
Ramon Taveras is crafty. I see why you're picking him, Finch. He is a slight favorite at -127 with Davey Grant at +107. Over is -135. Does Taveras chin old man Grant? Is that what you're thinking? Taveras to dust him?
I think so.
The thing is with Davey, he never been put away.
He's never been out for over a year and been 38 years old as a bantamweight against an up-and-coming kid.
Fair.
We'll
Respect.
see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not locking fucking Taveras. It's a fight for sure.
50-50.
I like Davey Grant's fights, man. He's exciting.
Yeah, he's a good style. We'll see, man. We're on opposite ends of the first two. Wow. Let's keep running. Our next fight on the card, we got Miranda Maverick versus Jamie Lynn Horth.
Yeah, Jamie Lynn Horth is my lock of the night.
That's it. No, not possible. Yeah, Miranda Maverick should definitely win. I think she can kind of outwork Horth everywhere. I actually thought Horth probably lost that Petrovic decision a month ago, and now taking a serious step up in competition. 2 fights ago, Horth lost to Hardy. Now she's fighting Miranda Maverick. The only thing you can give Horth is she's bigger, but we got Maverick with way more experience, and she's also way younger. It just seems like a lopsided skill set difference where Maverick's live to 30-27er. And I think she pulls through in this fight. She's quality enough.
how many times are we gonna see Miranda Maverick in a fight where we all lock her and then we were fucking biting our nails? Is she gonna win this fucking decision right now? Why is this close? How many times is she gonna do that to us? Is this another example when she's a 5-1 favorite and then the fight's a fucking split decision or something? You know, how many times is Miranda Maverick gonna do that to us? I think that she's better. She'll win, but maybe not worth the odds.
Yeah.
Daniel, I will be back in Chicago in 2 weeks for Christmas. So, and I'll be going to the Field Museum at some point because that's still the best museum I've ever been to. So hopefully you run into me, buddy.
Finch Brennan going back to Chi-Town. Going back.
Every Christmas, I got to go see the fam. My dad lives in the city. My mom lives up north. Got to go. My uncles lives in the city. You know, got to go see everybody.
Respect. I think Maverick should win. I get the concerns about this maybe being like an overly competitive fight that then makes her look bad and it's a nail-biting decision. But, dude, what has Jamie Lynn Horth really shown? She beat Haley Cohen, who was an okay prospect. I didn't think that she was all that high caliber in general, and I picked Horth in that fight. She lost to Hardy, and she beat Petrovic by a controversial decision to now get this serious step up against Miranda Maverick. I mean, it'd be pretty surprising if she beat Maverick, man. I think Maverick pulls through.
Maverick's got to be a lock. I mean, I'm just fucking around because, you know, sometimes we talk like this and we're like, how was that close? So hopefully that does not happen here. She should be able to easily 30-27 Jamie Lynn Horth.
Yeah. Looking at the odds for the fight, Maverick, like we said, big favorite at -400, -450 rather, and then +350 for Horth. The over 2.5 is -450. What do you think? Maverick on the scorecards, probably -275.
Probably. She should try to finish her, man. If you're coaching Miranda Maverick, are you telling her, yeah, just eke it out? Like, no. She needs to get some finishes. She needs to work her way up. So Miranda Maverick's live to finish the fight.
Yeah, I think she could be live to pull through with a finish. But submission, you think?
Yeah.
+550, Maverick by sub.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. They think it's going over, huh?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna make me look into this live on the show. Let me see here.
Eddie Bravo would say, my brother, look into it.
Look into it.
Look into it, bro. I'm about to rip into it, bro. I'm craving a rip right now.
Go ahead. Jamie Lynn Horth, both of her last fights were split decisions. She's continually gone to decision. She does like to score the occasional rear naked strangle, as to where Miranda Maverick, lots of submission victories, you know, tons of them. Yeah. Although, you know, she likes a good decision too. Decision against Deanne Barbosa, decision against Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee was tough in that fight. That was a good fight. That was close.
Andrea Lee, though, is high caliber, man.
Yeah. Andrea Lee, I would pick over Jamie Lynn Horth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, she's on the 3-fight streak. We saw her get beat up by Jasmine Jasudavicius in Canada. But, yeah, you got to lock her here. Yeah. Are you betting the sub? I mean, it's definitely live.
I think that the sub might be worth touching, if anything. But if you look towards the side of trying to fucking play money line, you got no win zone. It's essentially just Maverick parlay piece, but damn, it's an ugly one. Damn.
Yeah, so you know, if you just want to mess around with $10, you know, you could do that, but that's not my intention.
There's better bets to make.
Well, for sure, but are you going to get 5-1 odds? I mean,
no, that's valid, dude. I got the sage in here, bro. I'm clearing out any negative energy.
The name of the show is Moneyline. Miranda Maverick in a parlay might make some sense.
Miranda Maverick for the W. Finch. We finally agree, man. I'm glad to see it. Let's go. Next fight, we have Miles Johns versus Felipe Lima. Oh, my gosh. Finch, before I give you the pick, how rough is this for Miles Johns? He was supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt, which is a massive opportunity, right? He goes out there and beats Cody Garbrandt. He probably fights in the top 15 of bantamweight.
Yep.
Now he's fighting Felipe Lima. Why? What deal did they cut? What happened behind the scenes? Felipe Lima is a great talent at 1-0, but you know what makes me even more worried about this fight? It's taking place at featherweight. I thought that Lima was going to be cutting down to 35, which he's done outside of the UFC. No, and I double checked it, UFC.com at featherweight. For Miles Johns, man, this is going to be tough, bro. Easy matchup at all against Felipe Lima, who's definitely a hyped up prospect. But damn, I could put myself in his shoes. Imagine you're fighting the former champ. Champ pulls out. Now you're punished for it, and you got to fight one of the most dangerous up and comers right now, 145. Damn, man. I think that Lima wins. I think Lima
the hardest fight on the card to pick for me, man.
It's going to be a fight. I think Johns could have moments. John's definitely powerful. John's definitely good wrestling, but Lima's pretty crafty. I like his striking game. He's definitely got a submission threat here. And beating Mohamed Naimov is legit, bro.
Yeah.
That's a big W. Naimov's got big power, bigger power than Johns. I mean, he knocked out, say what you want about Jamie Malarkey's chin. He knocked out Jamie Malarkey at 155. Lima goes from fighting Naimov, who actually also beat Nathaniel Wood, controversial fight, but still beat him, to now fighting, Miles Johns. It's a hard fight for Miles. I think that he is talented enough to survive and talented enough to have moments, but I do think Felipe Lima might be a big problem for him. I think this kid's a good up and comer. I think he looks nice, man. Miles Johns crafty. You guys know I pick Miles Johns all the time, but I'm worried about Felipe Lima being nearly as good as advertised, bro. Taking out a Mohamed Naimov in a debut is no easy task.
I'll bring him up because he's one of our guys. Sean Shelby says Lima finishes this guy so easily. Who finishes Miles Johns so easily? I mean, Miles Johns is very durable, very tough to finish, big, strong dude. And Lima, he has a couple nice finishes, but I think, you can't really override. His average finish is a decision. Like most of Lima's fights, if you really dig back, he goes all rounds, and now he's going with a guy who's durable, who's got the UFC experience, who was just set up to fight a big name, and now has to fight a very talented, not big name. So I see why AJ's saying, yo, what the management do here? Did they sweeten up the tech or what? It's a very risky fight for Miles Johns. I'll give a slight lean to Miles Johns because maybe he can grind with some wrestling, push him into the fence a little bit. I feel like it's going to be harder to finish Miles Johns than that. With that being said, if I was going to pick flip on any fight on this whole fucking card, it would be this one. Lima is very talented, has a very bright future in the UFC. It's just he's coming up kind of quick with this one. It'll be interesting to see how he deals with this test. Lima's live.
I think that this could be a live one to pick flip, even from me, Lima to Johns, though.
Exactly. It's like the hardest face off.
I think the weigh-ins are important. It's not so much about are they going to miss weight, but Miles Johns naturally being a 35er with extra 10 pounds, is he going to be bigger than Lima? That will have me maybe like, ooh, well, the wrestling could potentially be more of a threat. And I mean, it's a weird comparison. Like for some of you, it might seem arbitrary, but I think Finch is going to get where I'm coming from. I mean, look at how much strength Aljo brought up with his wrestling from 135 to 45.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the Movsar fight. He ends up losing, but like, bro, taking down Movsar and doing well in that fight, and then going out before that and wrecking Calvin Kattar. I think that, a 35er filling into a 45-pound frame is interesting. I just don't know for sure, with Miles Johns, how he'll look on the scale. So I want to see the scale. I think Lima's really talented. I'm going to pick Lima right now, but, could be subject to have a little slight transition if Miles comes in looking pretty good, because he's an OG, man. He's got a lot of fights in the UFC. He's got a good-ass record, and he's a guy that I consistently pick, so fading him here is disappointing. I was actually supposed to bring Miles Johns on the channel, but I felt like I can't bring him on, this week right now with the Lima fight. I could maybe bring him on after if he wins and tell him, yeah, bro, I was wrong on that one.
9 fights in the UFC for Miles Johns. He got in the UFC off of that 2019 Dana White's Contender Series win, and he's had 9 fights since then in the UFC. You got to respect the experience. Very slight lean to him, but a fun fight. I like the matchup.
I like it too, man. I like it too. For now, Lima is the pick, Finch, man, on Miles Johns. But
I'll just keep going opposite you. It feels good today.
This guy's
I like
just fading me,
like
bro.
it.
Holy shit. You're doing what Troll Star's doing in the chat. Fade AJ.
Let's go.
Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Sean Woodson versus Fernando Padilla. I actually love this fight. I'm gonna pick Padilla, Mike Finch. I don't know if you already knew, but I
shit.
think that Padilla is actually a hard fight for Sean Woodson. Woodson's a slick boxer and he's good from the outside, but taking on a guy with power, a big right hand, a pressure style. Let's be honest, man. Padilla had some good hype on him as he won his UFC debut. He took out Julian Erosa. He ends up losing to Kyle Nelson over a year ago on a decision in a fight where he was a minus 250 favorite. And then it's like, write him off. He fights Luis Puello. He absolutely,
Great.
strangles him, right?
Looked
And now
fucking great.
he looked fucking better. And like something I did with Padilla is, bro, I was digging into where he was at because I was curious, man. I'm like, all right, if he's training in some obscure gym, then maybe I'm worried about it. But I don't know, man.
You mean like Wolf's Den Training Center for Sean Woodson in Mississippi?
Padilla changed up his gym, bro. I honestly can't remember the name. What is the gym that he's at right now? Oyama, I believe, is his coach. I said it yesterday. Colin Oyama, I think, is the coach of him. You know who I'm talking about, Mike Finch?
I'm thinking of the dude who used to train BJ Penn, like big Hawaiian dude. Oyama, Team Oyama.
I think so, yeah.
Got the wrong one.
He's at Team Oyama. Yes. Okay, here we go. Yes, Team Oyama is where he is. So he's training, with that gym over in Irvine. There we go. Okay, we found Team Oyama. He's not listed on Tapologist to throw me off, but we've seen some decent UFC names come out of there. And I feel like, I don't know, man. I just think that as good as also a fellow teammate, Robert Romero looked in a short notice debut against David Onama, I think Padilla's getting good sparring. And Sean Woodson, bro, I was looking at his Instagram too, bro. I'd be like digging into the Instagram sometimes. And I was like, who are you sparring with? Woodson's posting pics with some young amateurs that are his main training partners. Now, I'm sure they're really talented dudes, but Padilla, I don't know. I just think maybe a higher level in the room and then also a hunger for sure in his 20s now. Listen, he took a loss to Nelson, but I think it's one where he had an off performance. And when he's on point, he's got power in his hands. He's got good striking and grappling. He's nearly the same size as Woodson, right? It's only a 2-inch reach advantage for Woodson, which I liked here. And I know some people will be like, oh, but Alex Caceres also wasn't that outsized. Caceres doesn't have explosive power. He's more of a pepper and puncher. Padilla is a guy that finishes, and he's also crafty. I think Padilla can catch Woodson with a big right hand. Bro, I'm telling you, everybody forgot about Woodson getting badly dropped by Puello. You remember that dude with the one missing finger? That Savage? He rocked Woodson bad and ends up getting himself a point deducted because he knees him while he's down. But that fight could have been over twice in the first round. I think Padilla can knock Woodson out. Styles make fights.
But Padilla's 27 years old. I thought he's got to develop into his man strength still. AJ.
Listen, Ian Gary's fighting in the #1 contender fight in the world. This is bottom in the top 15.
I'm just busting balls over here. I just had to throw it out there.
That's funny.
Yeah, Padilla can win this fight. I think Sean Woodson is a good decision winner. I thought, if you're edging out like Charles Jourdain and Alex Caceres, although Cron Gracie beat Alex Caceres. So, I mean, let's not overrate Alex Caceres right now. Padilla looked really good in his last fight, man. Really, really good. I do think he could bring that heat out there. I just wish he was better at fighting at range to be a place like a confident bet on him. But I could see a lean to Padilla. His issue is he doesn't fight like he's 6'1", and Woodson being 6'2" out there with his wild looking build. It'll be an interesting one for sure. A real test for Padilla. I could see why he's slight dog money, but I could see Padilla getting this thing done because he's a little more dangerous, a little more of a finisher. He's got, submissions in his game. He can knock you out. He's a dog, man. He's a Mexican and he fights like it. So let's go Padilla. I'll jump on the dog with you.
I think, dude, I'm telling you, it called my name when I saw Woodson get touched with a right. And I'm seeing these right hands miss with certain guys, but they don't commit the same that Padilla is going to. I think Padilla's willingness to close the gap. I know he's not as good from distance. I'll agree. But I think the fact that his specialty is not so much just tapping and moving from distance gives him a better chance to make Woodson uncomfortable, get into that fucking red zone, bro. I want him in close. I don't want him sitting out from distance where Woodson can move, slip, jab, and look slick. I think Padilla moving that car closer and closer, getting in that close range, and then catching him with a big shot is live, man. I could see him putting Woodson out. Woodson's a skinny guy at 145, bro. I'm sorry, but I don't buy it that a guy that thin's gonna have the most iron of chins.
And he gets cracked, man.
Right.
And Padilla can finish you on the feet. He could finish you on the ground.
Yeah.
I could see it too. My issue is if this thing goes to a decision. Woodson is pretty good at, again, split decision over Charles Jourdain, decision over Dennis Bazooka. I'm fucking that name up, I'm sure. Alex Caceres, obviously, in the last one. Active too. I do like that. I could imagine. I mean, if you go back to 2021, now it was 2021, so it's not the current Yusuf Zalal, but he beat Yusuf Zalal. And look at fucking Yusuf Zalal right now. Again, though, that's a little bit. I think Yusuf Zalal is really coming to his own, training up there in Colorado with the Oscar brothers. Shout out to the Oscar brothers. Over there, not fight ready, Team Elevation. So it's 2021. Yeah. Slightly into Padilla. Cool fight. I think Padilla is more dangerous.
Padilla
and Woodson gets cracked. Woodson does get hit with some big shots, so he can't afford it here.
Bro, Padilla in 2017 fought Dan Ige? Put some respect on his name, bro. Padilla in there. He's fought a lot of good names. When you dig at his resume, I like Padilla. I think he can pull through. I think this fight's gonna end inside of the distance. I think it's ending somehow violently. Padilla is plus 130.
I remember him in the fight night early in this year and going, oh shit, when he got that nice Darce wrapped up. I remember thinking, okay, now we know he's coming up. He did lose to Spike Carlisle in 2019, to be fair.
But dude, Spike Carlisle is good at pressure grappling. Different style than Woodson.
Yeah, who did Spike Carlisle lose in a grappling match to? I remember watching that. I just watched that. Spike Carlisle lost to my friend. Shout out to Tom Higgins. Shout out to Tom Mother effing Higgins, the guy, the Mr. 9/11 conspiracy man himself. My friend Tom Higgins grappled Spike Carlisle in a catch wrestling tournament and beat him. Shout out to Tom. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
I trained plenty of times with Tom Higgins. So shout out to Tom.
Shout out to him. Padilla sub 315, or excuse me, Padilla inside distance plus 315. Padilla sub plus 700. KO plus 500. Padilla to win his straight money line is plus 130.
I mean, it's a money liner. This is an obvious money line for me. Yeah. I mean, y'all gotta make your own. If you care about what I think about betting, come see me on Telegram. We've been eating. If you want to bet yourself, I mean, you decide. I think this one is a clear money line. If you're gonna touch Padilla, it's money line or nothing for me.
I like the money line, dude. I'm feeling the Padilla W incoming, man. I don't know. I can see it. I'm excited to see it. Padilla for the win is gonna be the Finchman and I's pick as we keep running. Our next fight on the card, we got Drakkar Klose versus Yoel Alvarez.
But it ain't gonna be close.
It's pretty stacked up, bro.
I know. I told you that before we went live. I said I like this card.
This card's stacked, bro. Yoel Alvarez, Drakkar Klose, man. I think Yoel Alvarez gives him a lot of problems. In the past, I've doubted Yoel a bit because of his subpar takedown defense, but you got to give credit where it's due. He's got really nice grappling skills. He's very long. He's actually got dangerous striking, I would say. Good kickboxing, Muay Thai. Brings a legit submission threat, man. Very long arms. Those long limbs help. Like, I think he could potentially lock up like a high elbow gilly or something like that. I could see Klose end up getting caught because last fight by, Joaquim Silva, Drakkar Klose was locked in a gilly. And I look at him also getting dropped in that fight, and I take things away from him. It's like, okay, Klose is tough. He can outdog people. He wins against some of these older guys. But when you match him up against a prime up-and-coming Alvarez, who also has a freakish height and reach advantage, I mean, bro, Klose is 5'9", Alvarez 6'3", 70-inch reach to 77. Alvarez's only loss in recent years is to Arman Sarukian. I think Yoel Alvarez is a legit top 15 guy. He just hasn't, fought a top 15 guy just yet. And I think beating Drakkar Klose is a must to get there. I think Alvarez is live to chin him or submit him. I'm thinking Alvarez inside the distance with a violent win that adds some serious hype on him heading into 2025. And I expect him to try to call out Paddy Pimblett after. I don't think he'll get that fight, though. But Be a cool call out.
I think Alvarez is a huge problem, man. I think Drakkar Klose is going to try to hit him with some big shots and get hit with some fucking big shots. He looked really good. I think he's on fire right now. I think that Alvarez potentially puts him out. You know, I like Alvarez in this fight, dude. I think Alvarez can potentially smoke him.
Yeah, I think he could potentially smoke him too. I like how you put it, just simple as that. I think Alvarez could violently chin him, maybe a knee too up the center. There's a lot of crazy methods that it could end with. That's why I just feel like I like Joel Alvarez straight, but he's a minus 350. So definitely something you got to parlay up to cash, but I think it's likely to happen. Alvarez at minus 350, Klose at plus 285. Under 2.5 rounds is minus 155. I'm expecting violence. Alvarez inside distance is minus 135. So then you're getting riskier. If you want the KO for Alvarez, plus 285, sub plus 215. I would rather just either parlay it straight or you're going ITD inside the distance. I think Alvarez is going to get a finish, and I'm hype as fuck for this fight, man. What do you think, Finch?
Alvarez has 2 losses in the UFC since 2019. His debut against Damar Ismagulov, who is excellent for those of you that don't know, and then went on a nice win streak, and then only losses to Arman Sarukian in a little bit more recent times. So I thought the Alves Brenner finish was fantastic, and I think Brenner is more dangerous than Drakkar Klose. So he got the performance bonus on that fight. Now he's got a guy who is at least similar. So I don't see why the result isn't similar either. Give me Alvarez. What's up, bro? Let's get it this week. Uven Apsara.
Uven Espada. Oh, thank you for the 199, bro. We're catching W's every single day, bro.
Apsara.
Every single day. Espada.
No. Apsara.
Apsara? I said Aspara. Bro.
You're lying, though. That's fake news.
Sometimes
fake
the name's got to be said
news.
AJ style.
Fake news.
AJ style.
Is fake.
Donald, listen, there's something like special about slightly mispronouncing names. You remember Stiopic from Joey Diaz? An iconic moment, bro. For me, Aspara. I'm sorry, Apspara, but we're doing Aspara, bro. It is what it is.
Stiopic is legendary.
That's
legendary.
Young Stiopic. Finch, I think Alvarez is going to win. Of course, I think.
Stipe Miocic. It's Stiopic, dog. He's fucking, there's an immigrant mentality, dog.
Immigrant mentality Alvarez for the W, bro. Straight out of España. We're going to pick him. I think he wins at minus 350. He's a parlay piece, bro. I like him a lot. I think he's going to fucking catch a dub, bro.
I got him. And we might as well just say it. Knockout.
Let's go, Finch. Let's keep running. Next fight, our featured prelim of the night. We got Michael Johnson versus Ottman Azaitar. I'm picking Michael Johnson, but my God, he looks horrible in the graphic I got down here. It looks like he's fucking 50 in that. I think it's because the hairline gets cut off.
Be me when I have kids. Is that what you're telling me?
I hope not.
Like that?
I didn't tell you that. You said it about the hairline thing.
Bro, you're the one saying the bags under the eyes.
I said bags under the eye. I didn't say hairline or grizzly beard.
Oh, shit.
It's up to you if you want the grizzly beard or not.
No, I keep it clean shaven, dude. I think
grizzly
like
Finch.
I couldn't, I could grow an slightly below average beard at this point, before like high school, it wasn't going to happen for me. I could tell AJ could grow a beard. I could see that.
Thanks.
But, I think now I'm pretty sure I can make it happen if I wanted to. Should I? No.
Yes. Chat W in chat for bearded Mike Finch.
So
2025. Your picks are going to get better, Finch.
Just
He needs the beard. Bro, you don't even need to let it go too long. Just keep it scruffly, man.
My wife is gonna hate
bring
that,
the beard back or bring the beard on 2025, bro.
Yeah, just never been there. So
beard
all
2025.
Right.
You better harass Finch until he grows it out. I expect it on every damn stream. Every damn thing that he posts, bearded up Finch. Where's it at? You would troll him into growing a beard.
My goodness. Damn.
They want to see it, man.
My goodness. Really? You guys want to see an awful beard on me? All right. If the people want it, maybe we'll make it happen at some point.
Let's go.
No.
Bearded Finch. Bearded
man.
Finch.
Oh,
Woo!
man. My wife's just gonna be standing over me with a shaver in the middle of the night. Oh shit! In my eyebrow too and shit.
Listen, if you shave the beard off and it's an eyebrow gone, we'll believe the story. Otherwise,
That would be
bro,
fucked
nobody's
up,
taking
right?
it serious.
That would be bad, right?
Oh,
I don't know. We'll see what's up. But I appreciate all the W's. Thank you guys.
Let's go. And we got a dono in chat too, man. Jake BB, thank you for the big 5. Last card of the year. Always seems that Kobe seems to fight this time of year. Hope the card delivers. I hope it delivers too. Kobe needs some time off, so I feel like that's why the timing worked out as such. But I'll predict that if victorious Saturday, he's definitely going to want to get back in there sooner and capitalize on some momentum. But we'll talk about that as we get to the main event and, obviously after the card. Thank you, Jake BB. Listen, let's get to this fight. First fight on the main card, or no, rather, excuse me, this is the feature prelim of the night. Now I'm saying first fight on the main card, bro. I'm throwing myself off while reading the chat, man. My bad.
Fucking
chat.
midnight over there in
Florida. It's 106.
Oh, 106. That's right. It's 1 in the morning over there, and we're still on the prelims.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We're still in the prelim. It's all right. Listen, we got the feature prelim right here.
You're gonna make me have bags under my eyes.
I might have them myself. Michael Johnson, Ottman Azaitar. Listen, if Michael Johnson can't win this damn fight, come on. Michael Johnson's got to beat Azaitar. I think Azaitar is not very good. Bro. It's a wild gunslinging brawler, but somehow he loops a punch that catches Michael Johnson. Is that the reality we live in? Fuck that. Fuck that reality. I don't live in that reality. Michael Johnson is talented, bro. I know his record, 22-19. It's rough. He's got good wins on that record. He's got a lot of good opponents on that record. And Ottman Azaitar is 1-2 in the UFC. The one guy he beat is what? Kama Worthy, who's completely gone at the time they fought. And he's got back-to-back KO losses. Michael Johnson's been here forever. If Michael Johnson doesn't win this fight, I think it's a tragedy. You know why? Because he's 14-15 as a pro in the UFC, right? 14-15 in the UFC. It's got to be 15-15. He's not 14-16 in the UFC. I can't see it. He's going to be 15-15. Give me Johnson for the dub.
Jesus Christ. Another 38-year-old, but at least we're getting heavier. If you're going to be old, you better be heavy, okay? Because old can fly at heavy, but he's a lightweight. He's right in the middle. Michael Johnson's got solid striking. He should be better than Ottman Azaitar. Ottman Azaitar, questionable chin at this point and gets caught hard. Doesn't he have a brother?
Abu Azaitar.
Abu? Are they brothers?
I thought they were cousins. They're brothers.
Because Abu's got fucking horrible cardio. So I do kind of mix the two up in my head. Abu is gassed embarrassingly in the UFC. Let's say Ottman doesn't. It's probably close. The UFC does this on purpose. It's probably a good matchup. I'll double up with you. I think 38-year-old Michael Johnson can make it happen.
Bro, I think he can chin Azaitar, man. Azaitar, I feel like, is awful. Oh,
Jake BB with the $5.
Want me to say it? My favorite MMA meme. Michael Johnson doesn't have losses. He has lessons. Yeah, wow. 19 lessons later, bro. Let's catch that fucking W. Let's go.
He's got a lot of schooling there, Jake, but I
He's
appreciate
educated.
the 5, man. Let's go back to the future. And then Strictly Boxing. Just wanted to even it out. I appreciate you both. Thank you guys for giving 100%. Thank you, Strictly Boxing. We fucking love this shit, man. We live and breathe this shit. I'm only doubling down, all right? I'm going to start giving out bare knuckle fucking bets. I'm going for it, all right? We're just going to keep on doubling down. So 2025, we're only going to study harder. We're only going to go for it more. We hope you're with us. Thank you for the 5.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Michael Johnson, if he doesn't win, this is a fucking tragedy. He's minus 195 is a relatively large favorite with Ottman Azaitar at plus 170. I'm looking at Johnson decision plus 275, but I question Azaitar's chin. You got Johnson KO plus 165, back-to-back KO losses for Azaitar. I mean, the guys he fought are, fairly powerful, but when Michael Johnson's on point, he's got pop. But lately, he has been a decision winner. I don't know. It could be Johnson on the scorecards. I'm going to pick Michael Johnson. I think he wins. Finch picking him. He could sell, but he shouldn't, though. He really shouldn't. He should win the fight.
Yeah, I could even see him, again, Azaitar's chinny. maybe Michael Johnson gets a nice little knockout here. Wouldn't that be nice? Sergio, yes, we do. And I just said over this weekend, I gave out two or three of them. On the free channel, I gave out Chase Hooper inside distance. And Chase Hooper, of course, finished that fight pretty quick against Clay Guida via armbar. I gave out decision. So it goes to points for Ian Gary and Shavkat Rakhmonov. Also, the main one was over 2.5. And then I gave out over 2.5 for Joshua Van and Cody Durden, all of which hit, by the way. So I do give those out on Telegram. AJ, do you ever talk about over-unders?
Of course, brother. That's a lot of my signature parlay pieces. I mixed the two. I like putting them in the parlays, especially in fights that I think are going long. Maybe the pick's unsure.
Sometimes that's the best.
I'll do under is beautiful in certain fights, man. Over seems like over is a safer a lot of the time, right? Feels like that. Not saying it's
what
true,
matters.
though.
You know what really matters? Winning the bets. That's what matters. So if the over-under's the easier call, you go with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Johnson to catch a dub on the feature prelim. We got to jump to this main card, Finch. Let's get to it. UFC Tampa main card. Finch, this is the final main card breakdown of 2024. How do you feel?
Get the tissue box. Who's got a tissue box? Who's got a tissue box? I don't have one, bro.
Listen, you know
See
what?
my bong over there, but I don't have a tissue box.
You got a bong?
Yeah, I do.
Take a rip. Are we getting a Finchman rip?
It's YouTube. It's YouTube. I can't. What do you mean?
Listen, you do it on the side. I
told you I'm trying to get wifey pregnant. I've trying to been not smoking. I'm not, I'm being good.
You guys are seriously trying right now.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you were actually trying. I thought you were just trolling a little bit.
I ain't trolling about something that serious. What the fuck? Hell no, bro. I'm saving up money and shit.
All right.
Thank you for these donos, but let's go towards the the baby crib and shit. Thank you. Nah, she ain't even pregnant yet. Calm down. I just, when you have a kid, can you tell sometimes who's a good example? Who's a good example where you're like, did your mom do crack? You ever meet somebody like that? They just forget everything you tell them. They're a little, and you're like, I wonder, And so I just want to make sure that the baby's happy and healthy. So you could smoke, and I'll smoke to get through the stress of my wife being pregnant. But pre-pregnancy, that load is going to be clean.
I respect that. I respect that a lot. I think that's a good choice. Strictly boxing,
folks, but you can take the Ripsky. Go ahead.
Ripsky AJ. Listen, I'm ripped up, man. I'm ripped up. I prefer to be fucking competent to do the show. This is what happens, bro. The Ripskis start going crazy, and they're like, I think people want to see me fucking seize out on stream or something like that at this rate. But
don't get him too high. He needs to pick fights, guys.
You know what? I'll tell you, I can break a fight down, baked off fucking anything.
I hear some clicks going on down there. Oh shit. Uh-oh.
Bro, I gotta hit these moronic rips constantly. It gets frustrating. I'm not doing another rip on the damn stream. Leave me alone with the shit. Bro, most of the time I say to people, they're like, damn, bro, you be smoking. I'm like, yeah, most of the time we're doing the CBD line on stream than anywhere else, for God's sake.
He's getting turned up. He gets off stream. Everybody's like, you okay? Well, your eyes are fucking cashed out.
So no, I was just staring at a screen all day long,
This dude wants me to have fucking Nate Diaz as a kid. What the fuck are you? What the fuck kind of advice is this, dog? What the fuck, bro?
Oh shit!
This dude wants me to have fucking,
the Diaz brother.
Exactly.
The third Diaz brother. Oh man. Listen, let's talk about this damn main card, man. Smash the likes if you guys haven't. If you're new, subscribe. Closing in on 42K. We got Navajo Stirling versus Tuco Tokkos. I feel like Navajo Stirling should completely wreck Tokkos as far as his stand-up game goes. I mean, Navajo Stirling's a slick kickboxer from City Kickboxing. Highlight reel knockout on Contender. Tukos, he's a big dude. He's 6'4". Both these guys are. His A side would be on the ground, tying up, dragging Stirling into the deep water, maybe getting his back. I just don't know if he can pull that off, man. Stirling's at City Kickboxing. Those guys are notable for good takedown defense. And you look at the slick striking. I don't want to make a weird comparison, but you see Carlos Ulberg, Adesanya. You see the influence in a sense of the style. Navajo Stirling's talented. And I think Tokkos, little too square on the feet. I don't know. I feel like his head's there to be countered as he's in the striking range. And I think that Stirling gets a highlight reel.
I mean, Blood Diamond trains with them too. He can't defend a fucking takedown. So I don't know. I really
Late
feel
to the
like
game.
I really feel like the jury's out on Stirling's takedown defense. I want to see more of it. I should pick Stirling by knockout here, but Tokkos' goofy ass could hit these takedowns, and he does have a competent enough ground game, I think, to do some damage, potentially steal this fight. So, you know, Stirling, a wide favorite and an unproven one. But, you know, if you're feeling like risking it for the biscuit, I understand. He should be a much better kickboxer than Tokkos. Stirling by knockout is likely, but Tokkos hitting these takedowns, I'll be interested to see him try.
Interesting. I get where you're coming from. Tokkos is going to look to wrestle. I just think Stirling's clean on the feet, man. I don't know. He seems like one of those city kickboxing products with true potential. 27 years old, 5-0 in MMA, light heavyweight, baby at light heavyweight. Saying Navajo Stirling finds that chin. I'm excited for the fight. I think he's able to
get a good light heavyweight in the fucking mix. Damn, we need some more. Stirling, can you please have good takedown defense? Please be good.
I think light heavyweight's getting a bit better. We got Carlos Alvarez coming up right now.
God.
Sterling, maybe he's that guy.
How many times did I watch Dominic Reyes and Anthony Smith? Fucking jeez.
Reyes looks solid in that fight.
No, AJ. No,
he looks solid in that fight.
AJ, he looked like a trash can in that fight. That was awful. Jesus Christ, all hesitant and shit. Anthony Lionheart Smith throwing this goofy ass hook. Bro, fucking come in there and give him the right hand. What the or is he southpaw? Left hand? What the fuck?
Yeah, South, yeah.
And I get a straight.
He was nervous early. He was, and then he got comfortable. And look what he did. He was piecing him up. He
should have finished him way before then. He was doing his ground and pound like he was hitting the bag or some shit. Like he was pacing himself. Like, bro, give me a couple. You know, can we get the double Donkey Kong Curtis Blades? Can I get something? Stand up and kick this guy in the ribs. He's just fucking laying there like this. The ref wants to step in. Dom, the ref is trying to stop this fight. Can you put a couple punches together? Is he taking the Brock Lesnar ground and pound class? What the fuck? I was not impressed.
Damn, man. Finch is hard to impress at light heavyweight, bro. You better look fucking sensational. I thought Reyes looked good. I think now Stirling is going to look good. And I think Stirling is going to be somebody to keep an eye on. I don't know how far up the ranks he gets just yet. Young guy, a lot of upside and trending potential forward. I like his game. I like his chance here. I think he beats Tokkos. What's going to be interesting is just seeing if he is put on his back foot and wrestled a bit, how he defends. I'm going to say, I think he's going to look pretty solid. He's got good hips. And yeah, obviously the freaking odds are wide as hell. It's minus 650 for Navajo with Tokkos at plus 475. Over 1.5 at minus 140.
Why do they do that to me? Now that they you know, they make that little voice in the back of my head go, Tokkos could take him down. You know? Can't you hear that back there?
To be honest, I get where you're coming from. I ask myself, whose potential is trending upwards more so? Who do I see with a compatible style as far as being a top 20 guy? Who do I see with more power? I really think Navajo should wreck him. I think so. I think so
too. He's a solid kickboxer. He's talented. We can go with it.
He's talented. He's a talented savage, bro. Listen, we're going Navajo Stirling on both fronts to get the win. He's a big favorite at freaking minus 650. The KO line is minus 200. It's not really a fight as far as throwing heavy heat down and making a big money back. But I do think he wins against Tokkos, and he's a good up-and-comer. And as a fan, I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. I'm rooting for him.
Let's go. Next fight, we have Daniel Marcos, Adrian Yanez. I'm picking Daniel Marcos to win, Mike Finch. And I see you moving your hands around. It looks like you might be picking the other side. I feel like Marcos has pretty elusive movement. I feel like Marcos has a good kicking skill set. Yanez has power before, but how do I know for sure that he shored up these holes? He beat Vinicius Salvador, but Salvador is not very good. Fight before that, he got chopped up by Martinez, but it's a fair loss. Martinez is a great kicker. Jabbed the absolute hell out by Rob Font, finished. I think Marcos could win a decision here, but I know that you're thinking Yanez is going to pull through as a crafty
I thought you
dog.
said short up these hoes. I was just trying to figure out what the fuck you said there for a second. Oh, short up these holes. Got you. I didn't know if you knew something I didn't know. Okay.
He's been back to the Hugh Hefner house back in the day, bro.
I think Marcos is overrated, dog. You know, I think Marcos is overrated. I think Yanez had a bad fight. What fight was that? What fight am I thinking of? Like a faint memory of his last fight. You know, I think Yanez has more power. I think Yanez is he knocked out Vinicius Salvador, which is great. It was the Jonathan Martinez and the Rob Font fights that got him off that track because he was on a nice one, dude. He was on a fucking roll. I mean, got a knockout on Contender Series, head kick KO over Victor Rodriguez, knockout over Gustavo Lopez, knockout over Randy Costa, beat Davey Grant. That was that close decision we mentioned already. Knocked out Tony Kelly. Like, he's on a fucking roll and he knocks people out very often. And he's got a guy in front of him who likes to strike and exchange shots a lot and also wins by knockout a lot, of course. But in his last couple, it's been decision, no contest, decision. One beat Simon Oliveira, but then decision, Brandon Lewis. I mean, against high competition, he's been going decision. He hasn't shown as much power. I think Adrian Yanez packs more of a punch. I think Marcos, I've never seen him in there with a guy who's got hands like an Adrian Yanez. I think Yanez can win this fight, man.
So you think his boxing is the difference maker?
Yes. I think that Marcos slaps and Yanez punches.
Okay. That's a valid point. I feel as though my question with Yanez, how does he deal with the teeps and the leg kicks and the mobility of Marcos? Something that I think we can say about Marcos, he's a hard guy to track down. A lot of movement, very lateral movement, heavy style. So I could see Yanez chasing, and being with the big cage, we're not at the apex. It's going to be interesting.
Fair enough.
Marcos is good. I think Yanez is powerful. I see the side for Yanez because I know that his explosive power has looked impressive. But when I dig into the opposition level of wins, now granted, the same argument we made, well, Marcos hasn't really beaten anybody great. Okay, fair. But he did beat John Castaneda by unanimous decision. I think that's a pretty legit win. Dude, John Castaneda is not an easy guy to beat. John Castaneda is good. 21-7. 4-3 in the UFC. He was on a 2-fight win streak. Beat Miles Johns at one point.
In the UFC, knocked out by Daniel Santos, beaten by Nathaniel Wood. Those guys are all right. His wins are over Eddie Weiland, Miles Johns. I forgot about that. Wow.
That's a big win.
Wow. That fight never happened in my head. I remember the Kang fight. Yeah. All right. That's an okay win.
It's an okay win. We'll see. I think this is a competitive fight. And when you look at the odds are saying something maybe a little different. Marcos is now -175 with Yanez at +150. That's interesting. Marcos a bit wider a favorite than.
It's all about the lead leg, man. If Adrian Yanez can defend his fucking lead leg, I think I win.
If he can defend his lead leg, that's a big factor.
Do
you think that he has? Do you think he shored that game, that hole up? Is he? I don't know. Finch. Maybe. And Marcos, I'll agree, doesn't have as much power. He's got more mobility, though. He's got better kicks. Boxing, I favor Yanez. I have to wonder if Yanez catches him or not. I don't know. I'm leaning Marcos' decision in a close one, but what do you think about the odds, man? You kind of craving a little Yanez love?
Fuck yeah. You know, I always do my picks without the odds, and so slightly in Yanez, and I saw he's 2-1, dog. I didn't expect that.
I know, wide lines.
Yeah.
Over 2.5.
Salvador is a solid striker. Vinicius Salvador is fucking dangerous. So,
am I just a Vinicius Salvador hater?
I think you are, bro. What he's saying he's trash?
Oh, I mean,
Salvador's got game. Fucking solid kickboxing. Yeah, he's tall as fuck. How tall is he? No, he's not. He's only 5'7". What the fuck? Why did I think he was tall?
He's skinny though. He looks tall.
Skinny. He's fucking skinny. Him and Adrian are the same height. All right, I'm tripping. He looks long in the cage. He's a solid kickboxer. Here's another one. I don't know. I think Adrian Yanez does well in this one. I think it's a good fight. I could see why people would think Marcos with another fucking decision. But Adrian Yanez has got more power than him, and I think can do the damage that the judges are hopefully looking for.
Let's see. Yanez the pick for Finch. I'm gonna go Marcos. Let's keep on running up the card. We got light heavyweights, Dustin Jacoby versus Vitor Petrino. I'm going to pick Vitor Petrino to beat Dustin Jacoby, man. I think that you look at Petrino's loss against Anthony Smith. On paper, it's horrible. But in reality, what did he have to do different? Not stick his neck into a ghillie and try to slam Anthony Smith. Smith's got legit jiu-jitsu. But what does Dustin Jacoby have? More so just pure kickboxing. He doesn't have a ghillie like that. Petrino can get this fight to the ground and he can beat Dustin Jacoby up. He's going to have a strong wrestling edge. Even though Petrino, you wouldn't consider him a wrestling technician, he has good fight wrestling. He's strong as fuck. He's got that Brazilian explosiveness, and he's not a bad wrestler. Yeah, he's not a Division I, pure technical wrestler, but his wrestling in fights seems to work, and his physical strength is real. His top control is real, and he's not going to get caught in a ghillie by Dustin Jacoby. So that takedown that he was on his way to hitting, with Anthony Smith, or I guess he did hit, but he got locked in a sub. That doesn't get him subbed here. He gets on top of Jacoby. He probably beats him up. I think Petrino is live to finish him on the ground, but I actually think he could end up winning a decision if Jacoby, holds on from bottom a bit, survives some bad positions. Petrino gets caught in the guard for a while, peppering some shots. We'll see. I like Petrino a lot.
And I know Petrino's seen as very green, but I mean, look at some of these. After the Contender Series dub, Anton Turkalj, Marcin Proknio, Modestas Bukowskis. Remember the win over Tyson Pedro? Tyson Pedro, a very hyped up striker as well. And then, we saw him fucking put his neck out for a guillotine against Anthony Smith. That wasn't great, but at least Dustin Jacoby, glory kickboxer. I like the matchup. I do think that Petrino is going to be able to use his athleticism. The dude is fast. He's explosive. He's dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw that left hook. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit takedowns in this fight and hopefully not run directly into a guillotine. I think Petrino's a pretty solid pick here.
He could also knock Jacoby out too. Not saying it's the most likely method because I see a glaring skill set edge tying up and getting this fight to the ground. Jacoby striking from the outside is decent, but he's not super explosive, man. I guess he's got a decent little right hand on him. He's got some power, but I don't see Petrino going to sleep. I could see Petrino catching Jacoby with a wild punch, closing distance, and dropping him. I think Petrino should win this fight for sure.
And by finish.
You think so? Finish?
I think we finish Jacoby. Yeah. I think Jacoby's just not, he's not even an elite kickboxer. He's a good kickboxer for sure. But you're seeing a difference in athletics here. Who do you want on your football team?
Right. Petrino all day. Yeah. Petrino for the W. Should pull through. He's a minus 310 favorite with Jacoby as a plus 260 dog. I see Petrino. Finch sees Petrino. I mean, if we look towards, you like inside distance, it's minus 130 for Petrino inside the distance. I mean, live, does Jacoby survive? I could see Jacoby rear naked choked or arm triangle too. So I think Petrino's got pretty heavy top pressure and he could really wear down Jacoby, gas him out, and then finish him off.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it could also just be some, I always think about his explosiveness. I could just see him doing some fast shit. Boom! Just turning that cross hook over,
Yeah.
Getting him out of there. So I could see him on some explosive highlight reel KO shit too.
Well, listen, Petrino for the W for us both. I think he's a good pick and a good prospect. Let's keep running. It brings us to the featured fight, which is the flyweight feature right here. Manel Kape versus Bruno Silva. I think Manel Kape's going to be too quick, too accurate, too explosive, too technical. Bruno Silva showed his heart last time with a comeback knockout of Cody Durden. He's definitely got a bit of power in his hands. His striking is decent, but in a lot of the exchanges with Cody Durden, he was losing. And Manel Kape is a lot quicker than Cody Durden. I think Kape is going to be landing some pretty clean punches and kicks in this fight. So then Silva may have to lean on a wrestling game, but I don't think Manel Kape is an easy guy to get down. I mean, say what you want. He loses to Muhammad Mokaev. It's not like Mokaev was able to just run him over with his wrestling. I think Manel Kape can defend takedowns here and outstrike Bruno Silva. And I think he's en route to, potentially a 30-27 win. But it wouldn't be insane if he caught Bruno Silva with enough big shots and eventually finished him. So I think Manel Kape with a potential showcase fight.
I get the Manel Kape pick, but I'm going with Bruno Silva. All right. First of all, he's a money line. AJ's fucking
shit.
AJ hates this pick. First of all, he's been on money line. All right. We got to love our own. No, that's not why I'm picking him. I could see the Manel Kape pick. I'm just saying that Bruno Silva is well-rounded. So he has a way to finish him everywhere. Bruno Silva's live by submission. He's live by decision. He's live on the feet. And Manel Kape, is he getting a little overrated? Did he not look pretty bad in the last one? It was supposed to be this big grudge match, and they went out there and had a staring contest. I feel like he's overrated. And looking at the wins here, Cody Durden win was huge for Bruno Silva, albeit a comeback win, which, by the way, I bet on and gave out. I mean, with Felipe Dos Santos, David Dvorak, Zumagulov, and then Ode Osborne's nice. But that was back in 2021, and that was coming off of two losses back to back. One of those to Matthias Nicolau. And then, I watched the Kai Asakura fight back at Risen 10. I watched that one recently. Lost to Koji Horiguchi. We're going back in time. No question, Manel Kape's a solid striker. No question. You could say he's a better striker than Bruno Silva, but Bruno Silva's ability to finish a fight, his ability to submit him. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the limb I'm going on. I'm going Bruno Silva.
Dude, I don't know. I think Bruno Silva's too slow on the feet. You don't have the speed for Manel Kape, man.
Manel Kape was so patient in the last one. It's going to be a similar story with this main event. It's like, what guy am I going to see? If Manel Kape's not throwing anything, Bruno Silva will. I mean, Bruno Silva wants to win. He's ready to die in there. Manel Kape didn't show me that in his big time grudge match. I think he's a little overrated, AJ.
I don't think he's elite. All right, actually take it back. I don't think he's top caliber. I don't think he's world champ. But I do think he's like top 7. Damn, we got a dono in chat that didn't get acknowledged. Jake Beebe's like, yo, acknowledge me. What the hell? Odds on Kape either missing weight or not showing. Plus 125. Plus 150.
Nah, he likes this fight. He's got to like this matchup. So
he's going to win it.
I'll say, chill, calm down. I'm going to say, I'm going to say he makes weight and he shows up for the fight 2-1.
2-1. All right. I mean, the odds are wide, bro. Minus 340 for Manel Kape with Silva at plus 280. Over 2.5 is minus 200, probably. Kape decision minus 120. I like Bruno Silva, man. I picked him against Cody Durden. But man, I don't know. I didn't love that performance.
Sure, he had to come back, no question. But Cody Durden's got the wrestling threat. It's just a different matchup.
Different fight, fair.
Yeah, Manel Kape is, fast and a dynamic striker. Gotta respect it. I do. It's a good fight.
Yeah.
Manel Kape could knock him out.
Manel Kape, we'll say, pulls through a decision on my end. Finch going Silva decision or Silva inside distance?
Club and sub.
Club and sub. Bruno Silva, Finch. You will be the Mystic Mike if you call this one.
Club and sub. Bruno Silva. You heard it here.
Mike Finch with the savage pick. I'm going Kape. Finch going club and sub. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got our co-main event of the evening. We got Cub Swanson versus Billy Quarantillo. I'm gonna be picking Cub Swanson over Billy Q. I see him as the slicker striker with takedown defense in this matchup. Billy Q, he's got solid jujitsu, but I'm not really so sure that he's gonna be able to get Swanson there. If he does get him there, it's maybe an awkward exchange that like knocks him off balance, and Quarantillo maybe would be able to grab a body lock, get back control, maybe even jump the back against the cage, but I'm not super confident on that. And I think that Swanson, I definitely am confident, has better boxing than Billy Q, better kickboxing overall. Billy Q throws a little bit of wide shots. He's a little fat on his punches, and I think Swanson can get to the target a lot faster. And to be fair, Swanson was pretty close last time against Andre Philly. Billy Q ended up taking a bad loss to Yusuf Zalal. Granted, Zalal's a great talent, but regardless of that, he was absolutely wrecked in that fight everywhere. And I think Cub Swanson goes out and wins a competitive decision. We're in Tampa, bro. So, right, Billy Q's a hometown guy. I've seen Billy Q one time in Tampa since being here. It was at an RFC event back when he wasn't even in the UFC. It was like soon after the Ultimate Fighter. And other than that, never seen him again. He's a Tampa MMA legend, in all honesty, but I think Cub Swanson beats him in Tampa. I'm going Swanson decision, but Quarantillo is going to give a hard fight, especially at home, bro. This is going to be a fight where he gives it hell, and he probably puts the gloves down in Tampa.
You know, wouldn't that be sick? Nice performance in Tampa, knocks out Billy Q, puts the gloves in the center of the cage, invites everybody out to come watch Alta because Cub Swanson's team is competing against your boys' team. It's UFC Gym Costa Mesa. Cub Swanson owns that with Michael Bisping against UFC Gym Huntington Beach. I'm the manager of that gym. We got Alta started today. They've got a fight team over there training with Cubs guys, and we got the fight team over there against them. So we're getting the guys ready to take on Cubs team. It's going to be fun to see them at the finale over in June over at UFC Gym Brea. And I'll be doing commentary with Laura Sanko. It's going to be awesome. You should check it out. Cub Swanson's 41 years old, but his team's been getting dubs. He has not looked too bad at 41. And Billy Q, I have made plenty of money betting against Billy Q, whether it be Shane Burgos, whether it be Edson Barbosa, whether it be, what was his last fight? I feel like I just picked against him. Yusuf Zalal. That's right. Yep. That was part of my parlay. I gave you guys that one too. Yusuf Zalal was an absolute lock against Billy Q. I could see him dropping this one, dude. I could see Cub Swanson out kicking him. I could see Cub Swanson 2 out of 3 rounds, just, being able to beat Cub. And Cubs, really evolved his boxing. His kicks are nice. He's got every facet of MMA. He's been in tough wars before. He knows how to bite down on his mouthpiece. I think Cub Swanson gets this decision, buddy, at 41 years old. Fuck it. Shout out to Cub Swanson. We're picking him.
Cub Swanson should win. Billy Q's, he's fighting at home, so I think he's going to fight with a lot of heart, but Swanson outpoints him. We're going Cub for the dub. Huh?
How about this? Cub wins. We get him on the show next week.
I mean, listen, bro, I'd be down to have Cub on the show regardless of the outcome, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
Cub's an OG. I'll forever give love to Cub Swanson. It'd be cool to have him on the show. Are you going to smack talk him a little bit?
Are you kidding? I just picked him. What are you talking about? Smack? Oh, for Alta.
Oh,
yeah, of course.
That'll be funny, man.
Of course. You know what, though? They do have a nice team.
Yeah.
The Costa Mesa team, they've been training with Dan Argueta and shit over there. Yeah. They're pretty good, dude. A couple of my guys are good. Shout out to T-Bone, my boy T-Bone, who drops, T-Bone's bets.
Yes.
In the premium channel. He's fighting in Alta against Cub Swanson team.
That's sick. I'm excited for you guys, man. This is going to be sick, bro. Holy shit. We'll get Cub next week if, regardless of outcome, preferably a win, but either or. I think Cubs coming on during an off week would be fun, man. Give the OG a shine.
All right, we'll make it happen.
Can you tell him, if he has a decent setup? I don't care where it's at, but I remember some of them, they'd be driving while they're coming on the show.
He's talking about Captain Eric Albarracin.
He's in the middle of
driving. Just call him out, bro.
He just had a fucking cookie. He still had it on him, bro. I'm like, come on, Captain Eric. Holy shit.
Captain Eric.
Oh
I'm
shit,
sending this shit to him for sure.
that's
Captain
funny.
Eric, we're still talking about you, buddy. Your Wi-Fi was, or your whatever, your data was terrible, bro. The car was all dark and shit. We gotta like put some clips for him now
Oh
of
shit.
the interview. All love, Captain. Yeah, I'll let him know.
All right. Cub Swanson for the dub. We're calling him Dub Swanson all week. Plus 133 for Swanson. Billy Q is minus 153.
He's 36.
What did you say?
Beely asks, how old is Billy Q? Billy Q is 36.
36, baby. And over 2.5 is minus 130. I think Swanson decision win plus 315. Billy will fight hard, bro. And I think he's going to try his best, but I don't think that he has enough technical skill for Cub Swanson. And say what you want about Swanson being in his 40s. He's look quick still, man. I think he's still got it. He's fighting consistently as well, which, like, you know, if you're going to be 40 and you're going to be fighting, hopefully you're not taking long layoffs. I think it's a factor, bro. Right? He's been fighting at least like twice a year. I think that's a positive outcome. Training hard.
100%. And training with savages, you know, training with guys who are active too. Cub's been helping people get ready for fights. Again, I just said he was just cornering last weekend. His guy got a finish, posted that. So yeah, I think Cub's live.
Let's go. Cub Swanson to get it done. Let's keep running. Next fight, it's going to bring us to our main event of the evening for UFC Tampa. We got Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. If you guys are watching and you're enjoying, hit that subscribe button, smash the likes, and let's talk about this fight.
It's a cool one. You know, it's one you didn't expect.
No.
Right? Who expected
you know my
Colby
pick?
Covington versus Joaquin Buckley?
You know my pick, Finch?
I do.
Colby Covington to pull through, and I understand they think I'm fucking mad, but Buckley hasn't fought somebody that can wrestle, and I spelled Buckley. I spelled it fucking wrong, bro.
Buckley? Holy shit.
We're changing it right now, bro. I'll fucking clean it up for him. I'm sorry,
Damn.
Buckley. Finch, you talk, I change it up, man.
All right.
Holy
Oh, hey,
shit.
no problem. All right. Joaquin Buckley has been looking good, but he hasn't fought someone the likes of Colby Covington. Colby Covington hasn't been looking good, and he's fought people who are better than Joaquin Buckley, but we're wondering what Colby we're going to get. So it's an interesting fight. It's a hard one to bet on from that point of view. I was just criticizing Manel Kape for being cautious when he's standing there with fucking broken toes against a wrestler. Now, you know, we got to look at what type of Colby is going to show up against Buckley, because guess what? We saw Bilal Muhammad move forward on Leon Edwards and take him down and do all the things we thought Colby might be able to do, and just didn't even try to do, right? Remember when Colby was fighting Kamaru Usman, walking forward, throwing punches, shooting. Well, he didn't shoot a ton of takedowns, but against a lot of guys he did. Tyron Woodley, he'd shoot takedowns. He'd shoot takedowns against a lot of elite guys. It was weird to see Colby just kind of kickbox on the outside. It's not really his game. I'll tell you what, AJ, if he does that against Joaquin Buckley, I think the explosiveness of Joaquin Buckley, his ability to just blitz at times. And the problem with Joaquin Buckley is, to me, he takes risks. You know, you can definitely get a fighter who can catch you, right? And put them in there with Joaquin Buckley, and he wins some percentage of those fights because Joaquin Buckley just explodes in at random times. He just seems, he'll be patient, and then all of a sudden he'll kind of just charge you. And Colby Covington's not really the type of guy to be able to capitalize on that. I don't know if Colby's especially patient Colby, you know, training at the smaller gym and not with his plethora of elite teammates anymore at ATT. I don't know what Colby we're going to get. I have to go with the more reliable fighter, and I'm pretty sure what Joaquin Buckley I'm going to get. He's going to bum rush Colby in moments. He's going to try to hurt him with punches. He can wrestle. He's very, very physically strong. Colby's got more wrestling credentials and has a pathway to win. No mistake about it. But I'm leaning Joaquin Buckley.
Jake Beebe, thank you for the 2. He says one of the 5 Colby fans left. We thank you, AJ. Thank you. Thank you, Jake, for the 2.
Yo, I'd rather see Colby win. Count me as a fan.
The reason I'm picking him is not because I'm expecting patient Colby. I don't want to see patient Colby. If we get Colby chaos and we get pressure, I don't know how Buckley fares against a guy with the level of wrestling that Colby has. We only got one piece of evidence. Logan Storley out-wrestled the hell out of him. But that was years ago. That was outside the UFC. But it's like he's had wrestling advantages over a lot of these welterweights that he's fought. The next best wrestler he fought was like Albert Duraev, but Duraev is not very good. He doesn't have great cardio. He's not a former title challenger. Colby Covington, say what you want about him because of his odd antics. The dude can fight. When he's on point, he's one of the most annoying styles to deal with, just constantly pressuring forward, throwing punches, making you uncomfortable. And yes, he had an off fight with Leon, and maybe he just got shut down, right? But he claims that he broke his damn foot early in the fight, and you can see a high kick hit the elbow early in the fight. It's a fair point, but, not a valid excuse. He lost ultimately because Leon was better than him, but he did win round 5. He did get Leon Edwards to the ground. And as much as Buckley's getting a lot of hype right now because he's jacked and he's strong, when it comes down to technique, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, the fight starts setting in. I could see Colby pressing him up against the cage, timing a couple of takedowns. We'll see what Colby can do, though. It might be a wash, Colby. Maybe Buckley just wrecks him. Or maybe Colby Covington still got something left. I really will say, I think it comes down to if Colby is washed or not, really. If it's Colby that went in there and gave hell to Masvidal and went tit for tat with Usman years ago, if it's somebody of that caliber, I think he could give Buckley a lot of trouble because I don't know how Buckley does in a 5-round fight. His gas tank's unproven. His wrestling's unproven. But if it's Colby, patient Covington, Buckley is live to starch him. So I'm going to pick Colby Covington. But, of course, it depends on which Colby shows up. And
if it's prime Colby Covington, I agree with you. I just I can't bet on that, And maybe he did hurt his foot, break his foot on the first kick, and that would be, that would speak a lot. That would say a lot. And I don't ever try to judge people solely off of their last fight, but he's towards the end. He's had his title shots, and Buckley hasn't. Buckley's in a position where he's more dangerous. He's more likely to drop Colby, hurt Colby. We're talking about a Colby who's gone through injuries, broken his jaw, been jumped by Masvidal, broken his foot, had issues, right? This is the guy who's on the other side of the best fights of his career, I believe. And we got Joaquin Buckley, who's the young gun. So Colby can win this fight. He does it with wrestling, and he does it with a 5-round strategy. He does it with high output. If he's low output, I think he's getting beat.
If Colby wins, though, there's a savage fight that's going to happen. It's going to be him and Gary, bro.
Yeah.
If he wins, he's going to fight Ian Gary now that Gary has hype.
Oh, man. The amount of just shit talk that's going to, Ian Gary with his history, with the accusations, with the Machado, with the wife, with whatever the fuck they got going on over there. I don't know what's actually going on. I got no idea what's actually going on, but I know what the internet thinks is going on.
Yeah.
It's very likely they do that, but that would rob us of the Leon Edwards fight. Would you really want that? If Colby wins, don't you still want to see Ian Gary versus Leon Edwards? Isn't that a good one?
If Colby wins, you got to go the Colby fight, bro. It's too much hype. Too much hype, too many eyes, too big of a fight to do either on a pay-per-view. It's a good co-main, 5-round. It's a good fight night main event. There's a lot of things.
Matchmaker AJ, weren't you just saying we need to build up this 27-year-old kid? He should be able to work.
Right. Colby's the right fight.
Why are you giving him Colby or Leon? Can't we give him something not so challenging?
I think Colby then. Let's do Colby. That's the level he's at. Listen, you can't go tit for tat with Shavkat, the #1 contender, and not big fight next time.
Okay.
So I think Colby's the right fight. And I think that there is a chance that stars align in 2025. We see it. And I think Colby Covington can put the pace on Buckley and shock him. It's really about how is Buckley going to look on the back foot potentially. How's he going to look tied up? I think Buckley in the first round is defending takedowns. But I think as this fight wears on, I don't know how Buckley's cardio is. There's a trend, right? And we can follow it. Guys with big muscles like Buckley have, isn't necessarily the greatest base for long-term stamina. In a 5-round fight, Buckley's got to put you out. Bro, when does Kobe's chin really look bad, though? He ate a big shot from Masvidal. Yeah, he got stopped by Usman the first time, but he's not chinny.
No.
Kobe's
and he has nice recovery. Like, you can hurt Colby, and he'll find a way to stay in the fight. So you got to give him that respect.
Yeah. Good fight, man. I'm excited to see it, bro. I'm going Chaos Covington.
Respect to you,
shock. Thank you, bro. Let's go.
I'm going for the 2-hour stream, bro. We're an hour 54. Holy shit. AJ, we started an hour late and we did a 2-hour stream today. Freaking most confident picks is canceled. No, I'm just kidding. I'll still do it.
What time is it by you right now?
It is 10:50.
Bro, that's early for me, bro. That might as well be 6 o'clock for me, my man.
Hey, I got a real job, okay?
Listen, this is as real as it gets, Finch. Nah, I get it. I don't gotta set the alarm clock every day and get up. What time are you waking up in the morning these days?
It depends. So Thursday, I had a meeting at 8 a.m. to get to.
Okay.
Friday, I went to the gym at 5:30 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Saturday, I got to sleep in. Sunday, I went for 10 a.m. We had belt promotions. Shout out to Jeff Morgan for getting his black belt on Sunday. So I've worked, what is this? I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm just going right through the week, dude. There's no breaks.
There's no breaks. I love it. Finch, man, on no breaks because the game don't sleep, bro. But before we leave, Finch, I'm going to say I will drop a little parlay love. If you want to do the same, you can to close out the I at least have to.
Yeah, let's run it.
Parlay time, baby. Let's run it.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah. Parlay time. What if Tuco hits a takedown? He's plus 500 Saturday night.
There we go. Finch, man. Yeah. Tuco, Tokkos, Takusos.
Tuco from Breaking Bad,
Salamanca. Yeah, bro. He should have went Tuco, Salamanca, Tokkos. He would have got more hype.
Hell yeah.
What are we doing the parlay? You want me to go first?
You go.
I got my parlay. Listen, I'll give it away. Yoel Alvarez, Fernando Padilla plus 216. Let's get some 2-1 love.
Damn. I'm really looking this one up and down. All right. All right, let's go. Cub Swanson, Billy Q over 2.5 with Miranda Maverick. What would that give me?
Say it again, bro.
Cub Swanson, Billy Q over 2.5 plus Miranda Maverick. What would that give me?
Okay. Sorry, bro. They didn't have the over 2.5 where I was at, but I'll find it. Give me 1 sec.
No, take your time. Is it not up? The 2.5 should be.
It depends. I was looking at the general overview with best fight odds. But no, I got you right now, bro. Don't worry about it. I can find it.
How about that for a parlay? I don't even give a fuck what the odds are. That's my fucking parlay, all right?
Plus 127.
Plus 127 is tremendous. Nice. I think those two go long. I never really give you guys over-unders, but there's one. I do think that Cub Swanson and Billy Q go long. Billy Q not able to finish Cub, a little older now, not really able to catch Billy Q with that big shot and get him out of there. And not able to get him out of there on the ground either. And then Miranda Maverick should be able to beat this girl. Come on, it's Jamie Lynn Horth. So that should be a nice look at plus money parlay for you folks. I got you.
I like what I'm seeing, Finch. Good parlay calls for us. Good picks this week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a chaotic card.
Fuck yeah.
Good question, though, before we sign off.
Of course.
Drickus Du Plessis, Sean Strickland announces the main event, UFC 312. Are you upset? Do you think it should have been Khamzat? The UFC fumble. What do you think?
I know a lot of you wanted to see Khamzat in the title fight. I know, but I'm still in the minority camp that Sean Strickland won that fight. And AJ, I know you disagree with me, correct?
I went back and rewatched it before Duplessis Adesanya, and I felt Duplessis got it.
All right. And I haven't rewatched it. So
Close,
maybe
though.
it's first time bias. You know, maybe
First time I thought the same.
Okay. So maybe I need to go back and spend another half hour of my life watching Drickus Duplessis and Sean Strickland get in a crazy fucking slugfest. But I just can't think of Drickus Duplessis without thinking of Dana White's line, he fights like a white guy dances. It's so perfect. That's such a perfect breakdown of Drick. He wouldn't say that shit unless he meant it. You know, it's such a perfect description of Drickus Duplessis' ugly ass style. Yeah, I don't hate it, but I could see why people would want to see Khamzat. Khamzat Drickus Duplessis. Should we just say now? I mean, you gotta come on, man. Khamzat should win that fight. I think Khamzat beats those guys. So
what are they doing then? They doing Khamzat versus Adesanya?
I don't know what the fuck are they thinking? What are they thinking? No, I'll side with the folks, man. I think Khamzat should have got it. With that being said, do you hate that Sean Strickland got it? I don't. It's a good fight. It was a great fight.
The first fight I'm gonna go rewatch it. You're not gonna call it a great fight.
What's that?
You go rewatch it, you won't call it a great fight.
Stop. It was ugly, but it was entertaining.
It was decent.
Decent.
It was a decent fight. You go back and rewatch it, you're like, oh, it's decent.
Those two were magnets, bro. I remember being very entertained. I remember being I was like, you know what? These guys went to fucking war. This was a close fight. They left it all out there. I respect that shit. Sean Strickland at the end of the fight was throwing fucking Chuck Liddell overhand rights and shit. You know, they went to war. So respect to Sean Strickland. I don't hate that he's getting the title shot, but I do believe Khamzat could have got it.
Khamzat should have got it, I think. Now, Finch, before we leave, I'm going to drop the link to your show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to be over on my YouTube right after this. I'm going to freaking make a blurry thumbnail right away. They're so blurry. AJ, can you just start making them for me? I'm just going to send AJ $10 to make my thumbnails. AJ.
Bro, the thing is, when I send them to you, it's not working right, bro. You don't know my mate.
Even see? What's wrong with my channel that it won't accept a thumbnail?
What? Okay, can we talk?
9 or whatever?
We'll talk after the stream. I need to see your pictures.
Okay. I'm going to give you a blurry thumbnail, and then I'm going to go on live and give you my 5 most confident picks for UFC Fight Night in Tampa, in Florida. AJ ain't going because he's going to host the live for y'all, so make sure you're hanging out with AJ on Fight Night. If you want my bets, I give out my lock, my parlay, my 3 premium plays, and a wild card in Premium Channel, but this time, I'm going all in. Me and my boy T-Bone saw the card. He said, I like this whole card. I'll pick up whatever you don't. So after I drop my bets, my boy T-Bone is going to go ahead and drop a bet for every single fight on this card to end the year. We'll see you in the Premium Channel as well. Link in my channel, link in description on my video, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Let's go. Check out the Finch, man. We got him linked up in the chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. We'll have Moneyline during the off weeks, and you guys know I'm posting and doing live streams with content every day. So keep it locked in on the channel. Much love to the people. See you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.